Hey guys, welcome back for another Complex Combo with your girl, Sonia B. That's me. I do have a topic that I want to talk about today. But before I get into that, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button. Go ahead, it's right there at the bottom. You can do it. For those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I thank you for coming back to see what the heck I'm talking about today. So what I want to talk about today is, for the most part, always based on a conversation I've had with someone. And this recent conversation was about why, in particular, we as women feel like we need to prove who we are to somebody else in order for them to decide whether or not we're worthy of being treated a certain way, right? So why are we always, or why are we still in this day and age trying to prove that we're solid to people who probably aren't solid themselves? That's my question. So I look back on previous relationships, and in relationships, not necessarily meaning man and women relationships, but in friendships, in family relationships, any type of relationship where I personally felt like I needed to prove who I was as a person in order for them to see my value and then treat me appropriately. So I, in these situations, have questioned who I was as a person and what my own worth was. And I hate it when I personally do it. And I really hate it when I see other people do it. You know, just selling themselves short because they feel like they need to in order to make the other person feel good about themselves. And then hopefully that person will treat them right. So I have tried to prove who I was to somebody else, expecting them to see my value and them to treat me like I think I deserve to be treated. Therein lies the problem. Me putting my worth and my value in the hands of somebody else. How many of you have put yourself in that same situation? Have you ever felt like you had to prove to somebody who you were just so that they could treat you the way you felt like you needed to be treated? Why can't they just treat you good just off the top? Just wondered about that. So unnecessary. So I recently read this analogy, and someone equated, placing your self-worth in that of a Birkin bag. I don't know why Birkin bags are the topic, probably in every female rap song, but this was the analogy nonetheless. So personally, I'm not a fan of the Birkin bag because I don't like the style, and the bag is too freaking expensive. But it's my opinion. That's just my opinion on the Birkin bag. So personally, I don't go out and buy a Birkin bag. But one, it doesn't change the value of the Birkin bag. The Birkin bag will still be expensive. It doesn't change the fact that other people find the Birkin bag to be appealing, attractive, and worth the money. So my one opinion does not change the value of this so-called bag that women everywhere, especially in the rap world, seem to love. I don't know. But I don't understand, if my one opinion can't change the value of a Birkin bag, why is it that I let the doubting of someone else, the negative speak of someone else, diminish how I feel or I value myself? It doesn't make sense. So if you know that you're a high value person, and I don't mean that in the Kevin Samuels type way, no plug for Kevin, but just saying. If you know that you're a high value person, why do you feel the need to convince somebody else that you're high value? So just a moment of transparency, just so you know that I'm real, not trying to prove it. I spent a greater part of my teenage years trying to prove to my father, who was always an advocate of education, but just always trying to prove to him that I was a good student and I would never disappoint him in the realm of academia. And well into my 30s, so my whole life up to age 33, I spent all that time trying to convince my mother of the type of woman that I was, of the type of wife that I was, the type of mother that I was. And hell, even in a marriage, I spent 17 years trying to convince this one person who should have known me better than anybody else, who had seen me at my worst, my best, and all points in between, trying to convince him that I mattered, that I was in fact a good woman, that I was a good wife, that I was a good person overall. So my point in being transparent and sharing those three things is that while getting their nod of approval probably at the time would have seemed like, the ultimate goal, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what my parents or what my spouse thought of me. All that mattered is what I thought. So if I didn't think I was a good person, if I didn't think I was a good wife, or if I didn't think I was a good mom or an employee, whatever the situation was, if I didn't have those thoughts of myself, why would anybody else think that of me? Why would anybody see me valued any higher than I value myself? I'm not down on anybody that has moments of low self-esteem. I've been there. I'm not down on anybody who really place a lot of value on what others think of them. Yes, there are people that do that. But you find yourself disappointed in the end. So whether it's a friendship, relationship, marital relationship, sisterhood, working relationship, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you as long as you're thinking great about yourself. I'm going to say that again. Doesn't matter. Stop trying to prove who you are, what you are, who you can be, what you can do. Stop. Okay? Stop trying to prove that to somebody who's probably not solid anyway. That's all I got to say about that. Leave your comments below. I'd like to know what you think. What are the areas of opportunity for you in terms of trying to prove who you are to other people? Do you know who you are? That's where it starts. Until next time, it's your girl.